Why is it that a lot of engineers, according to the statistics, 25% of engineering students who graduate, so 25% of graduate engineering degree, only 25% are working in engineering, while the other 75% are not. So I'm here to talk about it and kind of hang tight. So before we dive into the topic, and I did some research on it, but I think I have a lot of thoughts on that. But I want to just kind of make this video and talk about, I'm still in Japan. So if you're tuning in, you're subscribed, and you following me, then my backs are right there. I'm here in Japan with the military, with the Air Force. I'm here on my tour, and I'm supposed to go home to the States today, but the flight got canceled because they found something wrong with the plane. I was supposed to take an Air Force plane back. They found something wrong with the plane, and we're gonna have to wait one more night. So I'm in the exact same hotel room. All right, so let's get back into engineering. But before that, I am making a video in regards to the Air Force, traveling in the military and stuff like that, and Japan in general, and working here in Japan. But I can't do it until I actually make it back to the States. So I'm gonna make a quick video on what I have recently found and what I want to talk about, and that's engineering, which is actually up my alley as well. If a lot of people follow my channel, you'll know that I worked as a mechanical engineer for the past year now. For the Department of Commerce, I have a bachelor degree in physics, and physics and engineering is two sides of the same coin. It's literally almost the same thing. I started out in my bachelor degree in mechanical engineering at Penn State University. I dropped out because I was not disciplined. I went to school at Penn State University, and I just couldn't make it. So then I went into the Air Force to fix myself and get the GI Bill and whatnot. Came out, went back to engineering, but at that time I had family obligations. I can't move to an engineering school. There's not a lot of schools that offer engineering, but a lot of schools that was offering something else close by was engineering physics, or just physics degree, right? So that's what I did, and I came out with a bachelor degree in physics. So that's my story. So let's get back into the reason why only 25% of engineering graduate gets to work in engineering. Now, if you think like, well, maybe people who graduate engineering, they find a better job, maybe they're not interested in engineering after they finish the thing. That's not really the case. If you ask college senior, engineering senior, where they think they're going to be working, most of them will say in a engineering firm, right? So a lot of them want to work in engineering, right? And like if you talk to college graduate, engineering graduate, like why are you not working engineering? The answer would probably be almost unanimous. Like, we can't find a job. We keep applying and applying and applying, hundreds of applications a month, and I just keep getting rejection letter after rejection letter. No company want to hire me. But then on the flip side, if you go ask the engineering firm and be like, well, like, do you just not have a position? They'll be like, oh, we have plenty of engineering position. We have plenty of engineering position we can't fill. There's just not enough engineers to fill them. So what's the problem? Like, where's the disconnect? Where is the disconnect, right? So the disconnect, and I'm gonna give you the answer, is really simple. Work. A lot of employers today in engineering firm do not want to train new graduates, engineering graduate, because the skills that you're learning as an engineer in college is not deep enough to learn the skill. So you'll learn a lot of calculus, physics, stuff like that, things that you'll never use really when you go. You'll use, like, from what I talk to a lot of people, they'll use like the first year of calculus, so calculus 1 and 2, not even most high valuable, so just calc 1, calc 2, and maybe a little bit of physics, and that's about it, right? The rest of the thing they don't use, right, from school. So I think the biggest problem is that it's just that colleges don't train you how to work in professional setting. And it's really hard for colleges in mechanical engineering or any type of other engineering to teach very specific jobs, very specific engineering field, right? Like very specific engineering, program and all these things, and it changed every single year, right? So when you go and apply for a job in engineering, they're gonna ask you, oh, why do you have skills in this program, right? Do you have skill in that program, right? And you're like, no, but I did take some CAD classes. Like, how deep of a CAD? Well, maybe one or two classes. Oh, that's not enough, right? Right. So that's just one of the things. Like, but I learned thermodynamics. We're not going to use thermodynamics in this field, in this company. Like, why do you need to know that, right? And that's kind of one of those things where, like, engineering bachelor is just way too broad. And the problem with the work, like with the work employers, is that they do not want to train you, right? So a lot of like employment in engineering, like you look for entry level position, they require 2 to 5 years of experience. That's not entry level. That's ridiculous, right? Go look in LinkedIn. Go look at LinkedIn. Look at like entry level position for engineering, for mechanical engineering, any type of engineering. They require 2 to 4 years of experience, right? And that's just kind of ridiculous. Like, it's entry level. It's entry level, and I think there's a lot of problem with it because is that like we're in like economy right now, and I'm not going to get into politics, but we're in an economy right now that is really, really bad, right? It's not a really good economy. A lot of firms are laying off people, and it's really, really hard for people to get hired in and the firm does not want to employers does not want to spend that much money to train up engineers, right? Even though they have the credentials, they don't want to train up engineers. So when employers said that there's not enough people or engineers applying, what they mean is they're not that there's not enough engineering graduate. What they mean is there's not enough engineers with the correct amount of experience to work in their firm, and that's about it, right? It's they want engineers like coming into their company to already know their work, jump in day one, no need to train and stuff like that. We're in a horrible economy right now that they don't want to train people up, and the amount of people that they do want to train up, they want you to go to a very elite school. They want you to have an extremely high GPA and maybe 2 to 4 internships in engineering to give you the background in engineering to be able to do your job. So that is kind of one of those things where, like I talked to a lot of engineering graduate and they're just saying that like we can't find a job because everyone wants me to have experience and I can't get experience because no one will hire me, right? So I think a lot of people are like, well, we need more engineers, but we're not going to be the one to train them, right? And that's kind of the problem with that and where we're at today. But I don't want to discourage you from engineering. If you're in engineering, engineering as a bachelor degree has the lowest unemployment in the entire bachelor system that we have right now. A lot of engineers might not work in engineering but they do have a job, right? Like that's well paying, right? Job, while like maybe other jobs might not. And I think it's one of those things where it fight one another. So the problem with engineering not being able to get engineering jobs and having to go and get other jobs that are not engineer related, like in accounting or any other things, that's taking those positions away from other people with non-engineering degree. So it's making the problem worse throughout all sectors because engineer graduate are taking jobs from other graduate that are not engineer graduate that they're qualified for, right? But and what the problem is right now is that engineer right now is seen as the smart person and hardworking degree, where it proves that you are at this level of skill level and like of well, not skill level, but smartness with IQ and hardworkingness. So and if you take engineering before, you'll know how extremely difficult engineering as a course, as a degree is, it's extremely, extremely difficult. And employers sees engineers as, better pick because that going through engineering courses and going through engineering degrees, getting that degree at the end, prove that you are better than all the other graduate, even though the degree is not, or the position that hiring for is not in engineering. And this problem is being perpetuated over and over. And it's just kind of one of those things where a lot of engineers right now that got a degree and working as a non-engineer, they are locked in, so they can't go back into engineering even if they want to, because they don't have any experience in engineering. They have a bachelor degree in mechanical engineering from like 5-6 years ago, right? So they can't get a job. They don't have anything in the resume. And when you go apply for a job in engineering with that kind of resume, they'll be like, well, you were out of engineering for 4, 5, 6 years. Do you even remember anything in engineering? And you don't have any engineering background. You if you do start, we'll have to hire at entry level, but you don't even have the experience to be in an entry level because they want you to have 2 to 4 years, and you're getting older and older. And the older you get in age, the less that they want to train you up because they don't want to waste the money for older folks. So we're in this kind of predicament right now where you kind of like screwed in the career field. So right now in America, college bachelor degree is not as powerful as it is. It used to be, back in the day when you have a bachelor degree, even in anything, even in art, you are guaranteed a better job and position than anyone else that doesn't have it. Now it's really, really not true. I think right now where the power of employment and is going toward is in technical field. So if you go to technical school and you get like a technical degree, those tend to have better job security than bachelor degree at this point. So it's either you have a bachelor degree or you have to get like a doctorate level degree in a very specific field that will allow you to, like, let's say like being a doctor, MDDO, or being a lawyer, which is a JD, right? Juris Doctor, right? So those are still open, but as an engineer, you can still be able to get jobs in engineering if you do patent law, right? So if you're into it, like a lot of people kind of run away from that because it's a law type work, but it has a lot of engineering in it and science in it, but it has a lot of writing and reading and stuff like that, and engineers are not really good with that. They kind of like math more. So that's something to think about. You can always go to law school with an engineering degree and practice law, patent and engineering law, and that's something that's still wide open. There's not a lot of competition, and people don't really require like 20 years of experience for you to be able to get into the entry level position. But right now, the way it is, the way it stands, engineering with a bachelor by itself is not as competitive as it used to be. And like a lot of firms require, like, would like you to have like absorbent amount of internships and experience just coming out of college. And it's just, if you don't have internships once you come out of college, you can't get internships after college because those are just college students position only. So we're in the kind of predicament. And if you have family, you have a child and stuff like that you need to take care of, you don't have the ability to take a summer to work for a company for free to get experience, right? You just don't have that luxury. So that's just kind of where we're at. So, and it's like other problem with, like using AI to weed out applicants, that like if you want to get a job, you have to pay for your own AI to look at your resume to match to that position. And you're going to have to write a resume for every single position that you're applying for. And it's just getting to a point where it's just kind of very, very much ridiculous just to get an entry level job. It's just not like the economy right now, the way the job culture works in the United States is just not where it used to be. And I feel bad for a lot of younger engineering graduate. It's one of the hardest major. It is the hardest major to graduate with, and to be told that only 25% of you are going to be able to work. So like once you get into engineering, most of the orientation will say, well, look to your left, your life above you, in front of you, behind you. Only one of you will make it through engineering school, right? So it's already a weed out program. Like 50 to 60% dropout rate in engineering, right, to begin with. So like you're looking at like maybe 50 to 40 to 50% of people are actually can pass in engineering, and sometimes it's even lower than that in some colleges. And you go into a work environment where only 25% of you with engineering degree, we're not talking about like going through engineering like with all the hardness and like all the weed out, and like only 40 to 50% of you are gonna get this degree. And once you get that degree, like everyone that has that degree, only 25% of you will get a job in engineering, right? And that's so disheartening. That's so disheartening. If you're on the fence about engineering and you don't know, and your parent pushing you, go for something else. Engineering, like if you want to do engineering and you have a passion in engineering, then do that. But like I do like if you tell me what the statistic, I would still do engineering because I love engineering. I could not see myself doing anything else in the world, right? That's what I have, like what I will do, and I don't care what everyone else said, right? Because I love engineering. But if you're on the fence and you don't know, you just want to do it for the money, and your parents say it has good money, blah blah blah. I would go to a tech school instead. I wouldn't even go to college because all the other degree, unless you're doing medical, like becoming a doctor or a nurse or something like that, like it's not even worth it right now with the way the economy is. So either you go into medical or you go to tech school, like trade school, right? A trade school, and like get a job that way. If you're really good with your hands and you like working with your hands, I mean, that's where the jobs are right now in this economy. And in the future, it may change, right? And you'll be like, well, once it changed, I wish I have a degree. You can always go back to college if that happens, right? Like a lot of jobs, like, like you can use your trade school, which is usually an associate. All those credit will transfer to a bachelor. It's really simple. All those credit will transfer to a bachelor anyways. So like in the future, if your job require you to get a bachelor, or if there's a job that you're looking for that require a bachelor, you could just take it online, and all your credit will transfer anyway. So it's a no-brainer to me. All right, guys. That's kind of it for today and what I'm talking about with engineering. And I do consultation engineer, not just engineering, with military, with career, with colleges and university and trade school, and any type of things in regards to that. I also specialize in medical, when it comes to picking a career path in that as well, and taking a school in that as well. So I will leave a link in description to my email address, and if you guys would like to have consultation, send me an email, and I will be happy to help you guys with it. All right, thank you. Bye bye.